Hello everyone, it's Steve, the Nortel guy. In this video, I'm going to cover the auto attendant greeting. Some people call this the company voicemail, or they call this the company greeting. And in layman's terms, what the auto attendant is the recording that callers from the outside hear when they call into your company. Some companies choose to have their auto attendant answer right away, and some just use it as a backup if no one else can get to the phone. So they might let the phone ring 4 or 5 times, and then if no one can get to the phone, it goes to the auto attendant. Now, in this video, I want to show you how this works. I consider it to be a fairly complex undertaking. I get a lot of questions from people about how to update the company greeting. I think it's fairly complicated, and I oftentimes will tell people, look, you need to call me and schedule a service appointment to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and show you anyway, and maybe if you're lucky, it may be enough to get you what you need to know to re-record your company auto attendant greeting. But if not, at the very least, you'll understand why I say it's fairly complex. All right, well, we begin by logging into the voicemail administration feature. 983. If you have a Norstar voicemail, it's probably going to be 102 and then 4 zeros and OK. I have a BCM call pilot, so I log in a little bit differently. I use the BCM user ID, which is 738662, and then my password is 266344. All right, and then I'm going to go. Okay, so let's talk about how the voicemail greeting is comprised. The auto attendant greeting is made up of 2 parts. There's the greeting portion, and then there's the CCR tree portion. Now, the CCR tree is optional. What the CCR tree is that part of the greeting where the announcer begins to rattle off your one-touch options. So here's an example. Thank you for calling the Nortel guy. All right. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. For Steve O'Neill, press 1. For the accounting department, press 2. For the sales department, press 3. That first part of the message where I said, thank you for calling the Nortel guy. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. That portion is known as the greeting. All right, that's the auto attendant greeting. So I'm going to go into AA. I'm going to go into greeting and greeting 1.
Good morning, and thank you for calling the Nortel guy.
Okay, that's the greeting. And for some people, that's enough. Whereas for some people, they can get away with just having something that says, thank you for calling the Nortel guy, and if you know your party's extension, you may dial it anytime. Otherwise, just hold on for the operator. Okay, that's the simplest way to do it, and you record it right here under greeting 1. You would just hit record, and then you would record the greeting. Thank you for calling the Nortel guy, blah, blah, blah. Press OK, play.
For the greeting, thank you for calling the Nortel guy, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, and then accept it. All right. That would be the simplest way to re-record it. Now, again, this gets complex. The easiest way to do it is just to have one greeting, which is greeting 1, play for everything. However, here under table, you've got greeting table 1. Just press OK for this one. Okay, so you've got morning, afternoon, evening, and non-business. Well, the easiest way to do that would be just to simply have one greeting that is played for, let me get back in there again, for morning, and then have it also be for afternoon, and then also have it be for evening, and also have it be for non-business. But you know, there's a lot of flexibility and power in this. So the reason you saw the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4 for the different times of day was you can have a good morning, you can have a good afternoon, you could have good evening, and you could have thank you for calling, we're closed. So, but again, trying to keep this simple, if you just have one recording, greeting 1, and if you use it for all 4 times a day conditions, then it makes it the simplest. If you don't, if you choose to have separate greetings, then what you need to do is, under greetings, you need to record a greeting 1. Good morning, thank you for calling the Nortel guy. Okay, then you need to record a greeting 2. Good afternoon. Thank you for calling the Nortel guy. Okay, etc. And then 3, and then a 4. Your fourth one would be your non-business one, and that would be, thank you for calling. We're currently closed. Okay, so that's greetings. Now, let's go take a look at the CCR tree. This is where I think it gets fairly kind of complicated. So I'm going to hit the star key to back up to the main administration menu. I'm going to go into Other, CCR Tree, Administration of CCR Tree 1. All right. Now, when you want to re-record the CCR tree, the top level recording or the main recording is path 0. All right. So I've got path 0. If I hit record, currently it's just saying, press 1, press 2.
You are calling for Steve O'Neill, or to schedule an assignment, please press 1 now. For all other calls or general inquiries, please press 2 now.
Okay, so under path 0, I've got those one-touch options. Press 1, press 2. The way that's done is you record your home greeting where you list off the options. For Steve, press 1. For the operator, press 2. For sales, press 3. That's just the verbal recording. Then what you do is you go and you create the individual paths. So for instance, if one of my options was 3, I'd hit path 3, and then your choices are: do you want it to be another submenu? Do you want it to be an informational message to be played back? If you hit other, then you can have it transfer, which is the most common. You can have it transferred to an external or internal extension. So I can say I want to have that transferred to extension 230. And okay. What did I do here? Path 3. Okay. Transfer. Okay. All right, so I've got that in there. Now, I can create a path 4, path 5, etc. I'm not going to go too deep into this because otherwise, this video could be 2 hours long, guys. So I'm just trying to cover the highlights here so you can understand why I think this is kind of a complicated endeavor. So then you hit end, and then you say save, and save as tree 1. Yes. Now, when I just did that, if you get a message that says tree currently enabled, it won't save. What it does is it's saying, hey, you currently got that CCR tree enabled and I can't save it right now. So this is something that used to trip me up a lot. So what you have to do is go back, hit star key, go back to the main menu, go under Auto Attendant, go under Table, Greeting Table 1, and then you have to just basically hit next until you get to this part where it says CCR tree. On older voicemails, it will just say CCR tree enable, disable, or it'll say like 1 or 2. In the BCM voicemail, it's got like morning, afternoon, evening, non-business. So apparently, you can actually have separate. You can have separate CCR trees depending on the time of day. Anyway, my main point is that we need to have that disabled. So right here, where it shows CCR tree, that needs to be disabled in order for us to do any changes. Now, once you've made changes to your CCR tree, you can come in here and you can say, I want to enable CCR tree 1. Okay? And then, so for the BCM, you got to do it on all different times a day. So change to 1. And then go to the next one, change to 1. Okay, and then go to the next one and change to 1. Alright, so it's kind of neat that the BCM call pilot gives you the option to have those different CCR trees depending on the time of day. I personally think that's a little bit more than most people need. But anyway, so now I've got my CCR tree enabled. So if I were to call this main number, it would answer and say the first part, which is the Auto Attendant, thank you for calling the Nortel guy. Right, then the next thing it would say is, if you're calling for Steve, press 1. If you're calling for sales, press 2, etc. So I just want you to understand that it's comprised of 2 parts. So you can either elect to use or not use the CCR tree. That's up to you. But I just want you to understand that if you're going to re-record your company voicemail greeting, you need to know that it's either comprised of 1 or 2 different parts, and that you can elect to use either 1 or 2 different parts by simply enabling or not enabling the CCR tree. All right, I hope that helped somebody. It might have actually made you more confused. If it made you more confused, do not feel bad. It took me quite a while to get my head wrapped around the whole Auto Attendant and CCR tree thing. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.